Hi viewers, today news about the filmmaker talks bringing an 80s sense of danger back to the movies, and reveals that neither he nor Bruckheimer have watched the ill-fated third Beverly Hills Cop movie. Beverly Hills Cop. Axel F's Mark Molloy is now the latest in a long line of filmmakers who Jerry Bruckheimer has recruited from the world of advertising. Having written or directed at least 4 commercials for Apple, the humble Australian filmmaker won't allow himself to say that he followed in the same footsteps as fellow Bruckheimer discoveries Tony Scott and Michael Bay, but in his ongoing effort to change up the status quo. The celebrated producer has frequently found new talent through commercials and music videos. In the 80s, Scott was one of a handful of British commercial directors who took their unconventional styles to the States, and Bruckheimer and Don Simpson's Top Gun, 1986, served as his American debut. The massive success of that film prompted the 2 producing partners to quickly rehire Scott for Beverly Hills Cop 2, 1987, a film that Molloy channeled in Netflix's now well-received legacy sequel Axel F. However, while Molloy initially said yes to the idea of doing a Bruckheimer project without hesitation, he surprisingly followed it up with a series of no's. My agent called me one day and was like, "Jerry Bruckheimer wants to get on the phone with you." And I was like, "I want to get on the phone with Jerry Bruckheimer." And then Jerry said that he'd love to make a movie together. Molloy tells The Hollywood Reporter. He then sent me quite a few scripts, and I actually said no to them all. They just didn't feel like the right fit for me. But then he sent me Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, and 20 pages in. I was like, oh, I'm in. I love this. Molloy isn't shy about the fact that he wanted to embrace the audience's nostalgia for the Eddie Murphy-led action comedy franchise. Filmmakers are sometimes hesitant to admit that they wanted to play the hits in their own legacy sequels. But Molloy has no qualms about it, so much so that he did it quite literally on set. As we were shooting, I would play the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. Molloy says, during a long pan, I'd put the music on and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's going to work. Or, can we pan a little bit slower? So I really had the music in my head the whole time. In preparation for his feature directorial debut, Molloy focused on Martin Brest's 1984 franchise starter, Scott's 1987 sequel, and other 70s and 80s actioners. But he purposefully steered clear of 2013's unaired CBS pilot and 1994's Beverly Hills Cop. In the case of the latter, Molloy helped engineer a mild swipe at the franchise's least popular installment. As Joseph Gordon-Levitt's detective Bobby Abbott remarked, "Not your finest hour," to Axel in reference to his 1994 escapades. I had a lot to do with that. I just thought it would be a really fun little moment for the franchise fans where we wink back at ourselves. Molloy says, I've never seen Beverly Hills Cop, I see, and Jerry hasn't either. When I came in, I said to Jerry, I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop, and he was like, I didn't do it, so you don't need to see it. Axel F's most significant change of pace occurs through Taylor Page's Jane Saunders, Axel's estranged daughter. In the 2013 pilot from writer Sean Ryan and director Barry Sonnenfeld, Axel's son, Aaron Brandon T. Jackson, played with the idea that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The younger Foley had his father's gift of gab and survival skills, however. Jane couldn't be more different than Axel. She's one of the franchise's few characters who's completely immune to Axel's charisma. She's his kryptonite. She can see through him, and all of his Axel Foleyisms don't work on her. Molloy explains, so that's what really excited me, and as we were looking to cast that role, it wasn't about trying to replicate Axel from a comedic standpoint. We've already got Eddie Murphy. We don't need to put Eddie Murphy against Eddie Murphy. And when I saw Taylor Page in Zola, I saw a spark in her eyes and a strength of character that I thought could go toe-to-toe with Eddie. Below, during a recent conversation with THR, Molloy also addresses a couple of the film's cameos. before explaining what he misses most about action films from the 70s and 80s. If you like this video, then support my channel.